So today we will discuss about what we have to study to design a seawater desalination plant and what's the key terms used to describe the membrane processes, the water quality parameters for the membrane process. So what do you need to know about the osmotic pressure, salt concentration, how this can be converted to the osmotic pressure, and the reverse osmosis, how you can uh, make this membrane and how we can produce this kind of quality of water. So we will uh, make a very detailed study on reverse osmosis and design, how to design this reverse osmosis and case study for Sydney desalination plant. You're already drinking seawater from Sydney desalination plant, 50%. So from the tap water, already we can taste some of the desalinated water together with the Warragamba Dam. So that's the how we can have case studies. Also, Wave water application value engine, Wave software can be used for this design and integration of water and wastewater treatment processes. So this is what's the desalination current situation in the world. The climate change, it's very difficult to predict the water rainfall. There used to be every 2,000 millimeter per year of the average rainfall. And then less than 1,000, we just say drought area. The more than 2,000, it's already good enough the water resource. And now it's fresh rainfall or drought. So our weather condition is very much changed and become more and more difficult to predict your rainfall. So which means you cannot really control your fresh water. So how we can respond to this kind of unsustainable water resource? So desalination is becoming more and more important because a lot of people try to live near around the seawater because you can enjoy entertaining like a beach. Also, you can have a swimming, surfing, seafood. What else? You can do a lot of enjoyment using this seawater, right? A lot of people try to live near around the coastal line. And then weather is very good. Also near the mountain. That's the reason why the Sydney, we have a lot of population is keep growing. After 20 years later, we will have maybe double size of the population. Still, we have a lot of problems for the rent properties. Also, many different way of our change in terms of population. And we need more water, Sydney, we don't have enough water sources. We rely on the Warragamba Dam, but this resource is not unlimited. So we have to think about seawater desalination because seawater, there are many water, right? The problem is salty water. So how we can convert to salty water to fresh water, which means you need to put a lot of money, a lot of energy consumption. So that's the reason people do not like it because energy means you produce the CO2 and a lot of greenhouse gases. So that's the how we have to make sure that kind of problems. So you can see the seawater desalination keep increasing. This will further increase because the people continue to live in seawater, and then we need to have a more desalination water to provide to the people and increasing population. So this is the number for desalination and water reuse. Also, water reuse, recycling water, same as desalination. So you remove the also a lot of salt from wastewater, and then the difference will be a little bit of low concentration. So wastewater reuse is a little bit cheaper than seawater desalination. So people like recycled water. Some people like seawater desalination. The problem is seawater desalination, everybody happy to drink. For recycled water, people still, they feel like not really happy to drink the other people's wastewater treated recycled water. So even though the cost is much cheaper in the recycling water, public perception for this uh, recycled water is very much limited to have drinking water directly. So how we can overcome this one? So already you have experience assignment community engagement one, how you want to engage people to drink the recycled water, right? So that's the one of our target next couple of decades, because this will reduce a lot of cost of the drinking water. Also, you can have a collection of wastewater near your city and then continuously circulate. So water circular economy is possible to have a recycled water rather than seawater supplied to the Venice or new airport. It's almost 150-kilometer distance, so it's not really viable. So recycled water will make a lot of change if we can drink and we can utilize the same infrastructure of drinking water. So that's the key. I'm sure that when you are maybe 10 years or 20 years later, the Sydney water possibly will implement this one, because we cannot really respond to the older water source, only desalination, to responding to the increasing population and climate change. Yeah, so that's the how we have already experienced for your assignment one. And this is the desalination capex and desalination OPEX 11.163. So capex was 6,000, so almost double. Yeah. So we have OPEX, so which means the seawater desalination, it's not only you need the reverse osmosis, high pressure pump or tanks. Also, you need a lot of operation like chemical cleaning, also your pipeline cleaning, also chemical addition, pre-treatment, post-treatment, and there are many operating like energy consumption for powers. So you need to spend a lot of money for the OPEX. And desalination contracted capacity is almost 6.38 million cubic meter per day. Also desalination operating capacity 79 million cubic meter per day, and 9.2 million cubic meter per day water reuse for install, and 169 million cubic meter per day water reuse accumulate installed capacity. So water reuse and seawater desalination becoming more and more important. So your not only capex infrastructure and capital cost, but also operating cost will increase more. So how we can save this capital and OPEX cost. So let's think about seawater desalination. The Sydney Desalination Plan 2008, right? So it happened 2008, and then first operation was 2009 in March. So we spent almost $2.1 billion taxpayer money to make one desalination plant. And the capacity is 250 million liters per day. And first operation, January 2010. So they started, okay, let's start build in 2008. So it took around 2 years to have your first operation of the desalination plant, January 2010. And then we shut down this plant 2012. So how long you operate? 10, 12, so almost 3 years. Yeah, 2.5 years. Because after we installed this desalination plant, so we had a lot of rainfall. So all the dams overflowing 100% capacity. So we didn't really feel like we don't have to operate desalination plant. That's why it's completely shut down 2012. And when we had another reoperation of the desalination plant in Sydney, you can see the dam level of Sydney capacity. So this is the 50% dam level in Warragamba Dam. So when you have a less than 50%, so we have a very severe drought. That's the reason why we made the desalination plant during this period. Yeah, 2004 to 2010. Now, after 29, 10, so we slowly increase the capacity of the dam level. The completely is filled with the water. And what happened in the 2017? So almost 6 years ago, 7 years ago, yeah, we had another drought. So when you had the first millennium drought, to slowly decrease the dam level, it took around 5 years to below the 50% dam level. Now, 2017, it's straightforward because for last 10 years, increasing the industry, population, so we spend a lot of water. So when you had another drought season, you quickly drop your dam capacity. So we reoperated this time. Okay, let's go 2020. You remember 2020? What happened? 2020. You will never forget. Pandemic, right? So we started pandemic. At the same time, we had a drought. But pandemic was more serious than drought. That's what it is. Most of the people, they didn't really care about the drought season. In fact, it happened also together, drought and pandemic. And we start operate desalination plant during the pandemic period. Almost when you shut down the one plant and then restart, it takes another 1 year to make a fully operational because you need to cleaning your pipeline. You need to also make sure all the detail, pumping change, membrane change, all the valve change, the monitoring change, and the system change. So it takes 1 year to reoperate. So when you start pandemic, February 2020, we had also another drought at the same time. So everybody stand by for the reoperation of the desalination plant. And then what happened was that 2020, during winter time, we had also a lot of rainfall. So 2020, so we start operate, and then rainfall again, and then dam level increase. So completely we start again. And we got a very good lesson because standby, shutdown, and reoperation, it costs more than just minimum operation of the desalination plant because completely you change all the membrane, your monitoring system, your valve, your sensors. If you don't operate, everything is broken. So it's like almost a new installation of the all the pipeline and all the system. So they realized that, okay, it's better to keep operating rather than stop completely. So since 2021, so we have operational like a minimum, like, okay, we don't have to fully operate 250 megaliter per day, but we just minimum maintenance of the plant and then produce the minimum water and mixed with your water supply. The water supply line is near the Sydney Park, near the airport. Between the city and that airport, we have a Sydney Park, and then there is a water supply system. So they mix together with the Warragamba Dam and then seawater desalination and supply. And from July 2023, so we have decided no more shutdown of this desalination plant. So we will fully operate because, as you know, this pandemic changed a lot of people's lifestyle. Everybody wanna have a separate their own property, and everybody try to get their own room, and then you need more water, and you need more people to support. As you know, after this pandemic, we have increased a lot of migrants, and then population increased further. Yep. So you know that we have a problem of the property because of so many people come to Sydney, and then they also stay alone rather than stay together, many people in the one property. So you need more water and then more people to support. Now, okay, we decide let's fully operate this desalination plant from last year, July. So now we are planning to increase the 2 times of this size, 250 megaliter per day to 500 for next 5 years. So Sydney desalination will double size the overall capacity of the desalinated water because now we need more people to support desalination. So that's how it works. And what happened is during this time, so who is owner of this desalination plant? Who is the owner of this desalination plant in Sydney? Huh? International fund. Right, you're right. Now, no, initially, when you build a desalination plant, initially, who owned this desalination plant? Government, right. Sydney Water. The government support taxpayer money, and the Sydney Water design, and then they had the ownership of Sydney desalination plant, and they spent $2.1 billion taxpayer money. And then after 3 year operation, a lot of people complain, especially environmentist people. Or you spend the $2.1 billion taxpayer money, you operate only 3 years. Now, now this is waste our money, and we don't operate desalinated water. A lot of people complain about who will be responsible $2.1 billion desalination plant. So Sydney Water was very afraid of this situation because everybody is talking about, oh, who will be responsible. That's why they open for bid internationally. Okay, who want to buy desalination plant? So we spent $2.1 billion. So we want to sell this desalination plant $2.1 billion plus $100,000. So they want to have a $100,000 profit. And 2015, during this time, they opened for bid internationally, and Canadian superannuation they purchased because they realized that the simulation shows that Sydney population increase, industry increase. Okay, they don't have enough water, so climate change will further require the water sustainable support. And then they invested $2.1 billion plus 100,000. And they purchased because superannuation look at the long-term benefit, right? So they invest this kind of very stable, but give your profit after 50 years later. And they expected that they will give income or profit after maybe 20 years later or 30 years. But now is after even less than 10 years, we are fully operating July 2023. So that they already get a lot of profit for this desalination plant. So that's the how our desalination plant have a history of sustainable water sources. So that's the we have a very fortunate to have a good desalination plant. We need more water, so you can just increase. So seawater is a limited water resource, so that we can get the water as many as possible. So we don't have to worry about too much in the future of the water sources. So that's the Sydney desalination plant. How about others? So we have a 6 desalination plant in Australia. This is the big desalination seawater plant, almost more than 200 megaliter per day. But if you consider small desalination plant, like inland, there are many, like drinking water, groundwater is very salty. A lot of people are using desalinated water, seawater or groundwater desalination. Also, we have a industry like coal seam gas produced water. You have a very salty water. So there are more than 1,000 desalination plants in Australia. But this is the only big size of the seawater desalination, 6. So most of them are standby at this moment. So Sydney desalination plant fully operate. This area, first southern seawater desalination plant, because this area is always very drought area. So they have operate for a long time, last 20 years, 30 years. So they didn't have any standby or shutdown of the desalination plant. But Victoria, because during the Millennium Drought, the government support every major city, Melbourne, Gold Coast, and Brisbane together with Gold Coast and Adelaide. So they spend a lot of money for this major desalination plant. Gold Coast is still, yeah, they are standby because rainwater is already enough in your dam. Also, Victoria also standby. They just have a minimum operation. Also, Adelaide, just the minimum operation because they still have enough water to support. Only Sydney and Perth area, we are 24 hours, 7 days operation because of water source are not enough for these two areas. So how we can design this one? The Gold Coast desalination plant. So let's look at what's the difference. So we have 6 desalination plants. How they are different? Yep. So when you have your assignment, yep, you need to look at what process you have to select, right? So if we look at Gold Coast, so Veolia is in charge of this plant together with Sydney desalination plant. So Veolia is operating 2 desalination plants in Australia, and they have a Gold Coast. And Sydney desalination plants are very much the same. Like they have a reverse osmosis to produce the drinking water, and they have open intake, drum screens, and dual media filtration, and 5-micron cartridge filter, and 2-pass SWRO system. SWRO means seawater reverse osmosis system, and CO2 remineralization. So this is the process. Gold Coast is working on it, right? And the seawater not converted into drinking water is returned to the ocean, so which means brine. So after you have desalinated water and leftover, you have a very high concentration, and then return to the ocean through underground pipeline. So like a 200-meter long diffuser system released the water in an area about the size of a football field. So after you create the fresh water, so you have a very high concentration of salt left over, and this one go back to ocean again, and then try to also discharge, go back to the ocean, and like a dilution of your brine. So that's how it works. So they produce 133 million liters per day. And Victoria, Melbourne, they are producing 440 million liters per day. They have a plant deliver 150 billion liters for high quality drinking water per year, and 1/3 of the Melbourne's need. And configuration is 4-meter diameter and undersea inlet, and drum screens, dual media, pressure filtration, cartridge filtration, second pass R, SWRO, lime, and CO2 remineralization. So compared to the Gold Coast, the Degremont is in charge of the Victoria desalination plant. So what's the difference? They have a lime post treatment. So why they put the lime? Huh? pH. pH here. pH, yes, its pH is correct, as well as mineral. So lime, what's the lime? Huh? Calcium, right? Calcium hydroxide, right? Calcium carbonate. So lime is not like your lime juice. It's not like your lemonade or lemonade juice. It's lime is calcium hydroxide So you need to put the mineral because you want to have a more buffer solution, and you need to have a pH control of the your mineral. So you need to put the lime. Compared to the Gold Coast and the Victoria has something different. Was Adelaide. Also, they are minimum operation and standby mode, and they produce almost 100 gigaliters per high quality water per year, and then half of them are for Adelaide water needs. And the plant water production capacity is extremely flexible. The output of the plant can be as low as 10% or as high as 100%. So configuration, open intake. So they want to collect the seawater intake and diffuser outfall capacity 2072 mgd, mega gallon per day. And they have ultrafiltration. So compared to Gold Coast, Victoria, they utilize the media filtration, right? And here they use ultrafiltration as a pretreatment. So what's the difference between ultrafiltration and media filter? So I'm sure that you already learned during the last second module. So this is the membrane, hollow fiber, right? So already you designed the uh, conventional wastewater treatment and membrane-based MBR, membrane barrier. So this is the membrane barrier. You can see a lot of fiber connected with your bed. Then you just stop your water here. Then your clean water will pass through the membrane pore. So we have a lot of membrane pore in this fiber. Okay. So water molecule will pass through the pore side, and then return to the fluid this way, and then you can collect the pure water, right? So this is ultrafiltration membrane. So this is membrane. The standard filtration or pure media filter, you have a standard filter, right? The standard filter, you have also anthracite, like carbon filter system. The water is filtering, like a standard filter, like a seawater. You have a very pure water in your beach. You have so many sand on the beach. So water is passed through your beach, and then you can have a lot of purified seawater. So that's the sand filtration, media filter, or ultrafiltration. So Adelaide with a temperature only. So we are too hot. Yeah. It is maybe okay. This one has so Adelaide desalination plant has a pretreatment for the ultrafiltration membrane here, and Sydney desalination plant, Victoria, Gold Coast, they have sand filtration or dual media filtration system. So you need to select for your assignment when you do, okay, which kind of your filtration pretreatment, you can select for seawater desalination. So let me show you. let's say canvas. So this is the your assignment 3. So assignment 3, very similar format of abstract. Already you have experience assignment 2. The background. So discuss about the importance and related issue of the desalination for future water security in Australia. So you can utilize your scenario. So what's the water security issue in Australia, and then what's the background? It's 10 marks. And then you need to design seawater desalination plan. So based on your scenario, so you need to select. There are many parameters already given in your scenario. What's the capacity? What's the quality of seawater? What's the detail? You can see from scenario. Yeah. And then based on this information, scenario information, so this like the others. Yeah. So you need to go for process flow chart. Clearly shows your selected intake. So already we are discussing about Victoria, desalination, Sydney, and Adelaide. So we have a difference, some of different pre-treatment, post-treatment, also how they look like very much change. And you need to decide because this will be designed by yourself, right? So intake, design, pre-treatment, like ultra pre-treatment. Design, Adelaide, different way of pre-treatment, or then preparation, pure media, preparation, filter, you want to design. So you need to select pre-treatment and arrow. Reverse osmosis. So you will learn from the way software how to design towards the reverse osmosis process and any other relevant processes between post-treatment. So when you discuss about line post-treatment or CO2, CO2 post-treatment or fluoride post-treatment, fluorinated treatment, post-treatment. So there are many post-treatments so related to your process. So it is design based on this one, and then specifically your detailed design of our process, clearly describing key parameters such as the types of membrane. So what kind of membrane? So we will learn how to select your membrane. So there are more than 100 membrane different selected. So how you can select for your texture water, quality of the seawater to remove all the salt. And you have a number of banks, stages, vessels, elements, recovery. So you can use computer aid design software Wave and any other relevant software. Wave is free software from Dupo solution. So Dupo, you know that they are the international company and they have provided software to design your seawater reverse osmosis or seawater desalination or wastewater reuse designing. But we have also several similar software from Nicodex or from Veolia, from other their own software. So if you want, you can utilize some other software because concept are same. But I like you to use this people because they have a very well history of this desalination software. So you can utilize this one. Then you have clearly discuss what you have done to optimize our process. And when you design, the software will show you no design only. So you have to make it so that after you design, you can check your mistake, error. So your report will show you when you design using this software. And after that, also how do you ensure that satisfy boron? So specifically, you have a concentration of boron. So whether you put your boron concentration after your software, so your concentration of boron is well removed, and provide the comprehensive literature review on impact of brine. So as I mentioned, after we desalinate water, high salt water, almost 2 times higher, go back to the ocean, and what's the impact of the ecosystem in your seawater? Especially, we have a cottage in Botanics Bay near the airport. So we have the island there. So how you can consider as the impact of the brine? So that's your another question. What's the adverse effects of the brine exposure on cuttlefish? So you need to discuss about economically and environmentally for this brine impact. And number 4 is the brine mining. That's another skill you can use. Not go back to your salt water to the ocean back, but you can collect your brine mining, which means the seawater contains medium concentration, low medium concentration, but we have a very useful mineral, like the bromine, magnesium, hydrogen. So how we can extract this specific mineral, it can be highly valuable. So how we can make a brine mining? So that's another question. And then last one is so you can have a propose a comprehensive strategy for sustainable brine mining development in Sydney. So consider factors such as environmental sensitivities, socio-economic dynamics, and regulatory frameworks, and outline the key steps for project planning, implementation, and monitoring to ensure responsible resource extraction and long-term environmental stewardship for Sydney. So that's you need to finalize and then make a conclusion of your assignment 3 and make sure your references and then all the flow and structure as well as the English language, including grammar, has to be organized. So this is the assignment 3. So you need to decide which pretreatment you want to use for your process. So you can decide ultrafiltration or centrifiltration. They will have a different way of the design. So you need to follow which you like to combine for your SWRO. And post-desalination plan has open intake, also this diffuser, outfall, traveling band screen, and dual media filtration, and 5-micron cartridge filter, 2-pass SWRO, lime, and CO2 remineralization. So still, you are confused why we are doing the CO2 remineralization. So why you are putting the CO2? Yeah. What's the reason why CO2 go back to your post-treatment? So we will discuss about this one, why we are putting the CO2, how the CO2 will convert to bicarbonate and carbonate, which is good alkalinity, and then why we have to add this material. So you need to calculate how much CO2 has to be implement in your design system. And then this is Southern Desalination Plant, seawater, Sydney Desalination Plant. So this is the one of the most interesting our seawater desalination, because our scenario is based on this seawater desalination plant. How many people have you been Sydney desalination plant? Nobody. Good. So when you traveling to overseas or other city, so you are using your airplane. So airplane, when you maybe land down, yep. So you can see the corner. So it looks like this area is a blue color. You can see when you land, and this is very close from the your Sydney airport, and you can see this area, or even when you take off, and you can see also this plant. So it's a blue color building and open intake. So we collect our Huntsman seed from this water, and then diffuse drum screen, dual media, gravity filtration, micro cartridge filtration, two-pass SWRO, lime, fluoride, CO2. So compared to other desalination plants, the Sydney desalination plant includes fluoride. So what's the impact of the fluoride? So when you see the toothpaste, there are a lot of fluoride which will protect your cavity in your teeth. So they have a additional fluoride for treatment with a chlorine. So that's the specially designed outlet nozzles that ensure that the water returns to normal seawater salinity and temperature within 50 to 75 meters of the outlet, and approximately 58% of intake water is returned to the host. So whatever we decided, and then after that, you have a high concentration of brine, will go back. So that what's the impact of cuttlefish? So that's your assignment. What's the impact of ecology system in the area? Like you have a 75 meters defeated from your coastal line of desalination plant. Yep. So you didn't see desalination, so I'd like to show you video. So this is the airport. So Sydney desalination plant located here. So it's near the Botany Bay, and then we collect the seawater from here, yeah, and then supply to the Sydney Park. Sydney Park, there is a Sydney water supply system, so combined with the Warragamba Dam water and the desalinated water, and then mixed together and supply to this Sydney city area. So that's how we are supplying the drinking water. Also, you finished the Malaba wastewater treatment plant from your scenario. So wastewater recycling and the Sydney desalination plant is very close each other. So let's see the So this is the Sydney desalination plant. Where is the energy from? Wind farm. Yes. Where is the wind farm? So what happened is that a lot of people are against the desalination plant because of energy. When you produce the 1 cubic meter, uh, you need to pay energy consumption almost 4 kilowatt hours. So which means 4 kilowatt hours energy for 1 cubic meter of the water, desalinated water. So 4 kilowatt hours, how much you pay for 1 kilowatt hour is almost $0.3. So $0.3 times 4 kilowatt hour. So you need to spend around $1.2 to produce seawater desalination for 1 cubic meter. So you pay for your tap water in your household 1 cubic meter around $2.1, right? So seawater desalination is very expensive. Let's say drinking water from Watergamba Dam, so it's traveling to the Prospect Reservoir, and then they treat sand filtration and chlorination, and it costs only like a 0.1 kilowatt hour per cubic meter of energy, and goes to Sydney's water supply system and mixed together with desalinated water and use supply. So Sydney desalination plant, when you start build this project, a lot of community argue about energy. Oh, seawater desalination, you need a 4 kilowatt hour per cubic meter of desalinated water. So 1 kilowatt hour, $0.3 your energy cost. Also CO2, there are a lot of CO2 production. So you mentioned about 250 million liters per day. Yeah. So which means 250,000 cubic meter per day. So which means you have to consume your energy 250,000 times 4 kilowatt hour per cubic meter every day. So when you convert to dollars, $0.3 for 1 kilowatt hours, right? So how much you pay for the seawater desalination every day is more than $200,000 for the only energy consumption per day for Sydney desalination plant, right? So a lot of people argue about, oh, where is this energy from? How you can manage the CO2? How you can, so that they decide to use renewable energy. So renewable energy from where? Wind farm, right? So this wind farm is when you go to the Canberra, look at, there are a lot of wind turbine, right? Because the area is you have a lot of wind, and then you can see in the mountain and the hills there are very big, turbine of wind farm, and they supply the energy for desalination plant. So that's the reason why they spend a lot of money for your desalination plant. Also, do you have any question in the video? Everything is clear? So in fact, what you have to do is designing the desalination plant like this video. So how you design the ultrafiltration or center filtration for pretreatment, how to design the reverse osmosis membrane, also how to design your post-treatment, how to design overall water quality and brine management, brine impact, also brine mining. So that's the assignment three. You have to look at the holistic way of the design for your seawater desalination plant, right? So you can follow the step by step. Also, video can be found in your canvas. There is some reading material. I think that you can see from them, yeah, in the canvas. So you can see again if you like. So any video question? Everybody now you fully understand your desalination plant, how they produce the desalinated water and how they supply to our water over there. And this is the very high quality of the water you have. Yeah. So now, once 10:30 we have, so you want to have a break around 20 minutes? Yeah. So we can come back around 10:50. Yeah. And then have a coffee and then have a little bit of relax. And we will come back in 20 minutes and then we can think about the next step, how to make a little bit more detailed design one by one, and we will also continue. Okay, so let's have a break for 20 minutes.